still has not won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, I haven't even been to a Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
No one's gonna marry you, Haranam. Like, you have a beard. No one's gonna date you, Haranam. You have a beard. No one's gonna be your boyfriend, Haranam. You have a beard. You are not a preference to a lot of men. And then I'll get like really feminine men message me, but that's not who I'm attracted to. Hannah, I like really masculine men because I am very soft. I'm so different to what you see like on TV. You know, on TV.
I've never seen you on TV.
Have you not? But no, generally you'll see. Oh, she's.
There you go.
Hello,
Your
everyone.
theme music.
Yeah, my theme music. Anyway, welcome back, everyone, for the Dune Prophecy episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed the return of the beard lady? Question mark. I don't know if that's a lady or a man, but we'll see. So tonight it's my turn to turn my narration here. Today I got 3 special guests. One person, very special, very special. He's the Wrath of Khan, maybe from Star Trek. We'll see. We got literally a cybernetic shark. No, don't think he's a shark. He's like a cybernetic cyborg, half man, half shark. And then we got a guy from the South who has true knowledge, apparently, about money. So, of course, let me introduce. Well, first off, we have a guest here tonight, the real Wrath of Khan.
It's my mic.
God, go. God, go. Say hello and say hi.
Don't mind me.
Yeah, don't worry, Shark. Don't worry, Cyber. No worries. Yeah. Oh yeah. God, just come on, buddy. Come on.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's great to be back. I think Jeff made us as a surprise for everyone here, so I'm really glad everyone was surprised that I'm back. So thank you, Jeff, for organizing this surprise.
Well, let me go first to this man, the true knowledge himself, Jeff here. Jeff, how you doing, brother?
Fabulous, sir. Fabulous.
Excellent. And lastly, I mentioned before, the half cyborg, half shark, or half man himself, Cyberneticshark. Hello, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. And that would be half robotic and half shark, sir. No man.
All right. Thank you for clarifying that. Yes, half robotic, half shark, folks. That's I have to say. Anyway, so we're in episode 3, folks. We're here, tile blah blah blah. What do you call this? The sisters above. Yeah, the tell two sister. Hold on. This is getting really funny now. Hold on, folks. Yes, sister above all. Episode 3, and just kind of jumping around. What you guys thought about this episode? I want to start with you, Raph. What you thought about episode 3? Do you like it and don't like it? What's your opinion?
So I kind of found it a bit disturbing, especially in the middle part, which we will discuss as time goes on. But I guess overall, because I just started reviewing the series with everyone, oh my God, when I say, I thought I was watching the Dune movie, this is a show with movie quality. Like, I am so amazed. I mean, the Continental was supposed to be like this, but for the John Wick series, but it didn't even hit the mark at all. It's like a missed field goal. This one just hits it to the spot, the bullseye. I mean, overall, high quality stuff. I wish the Lord of the Rings had the same level of quality. That's all.
Thank you, Raph. I didn't review Lord of the Rings. I tried to, but yeah, I can still understand that. And yeah, Continental, I heard not really good things. But hopefully we get another spinoff that actually involves the creative team from John Wick. But yeah, I can understand that. It's good to hear that you like the show, because so far it's been pretty good. Jeff, your opinion on episode 3? Do you like it? Dislike it?
Yeah, I mean, of course I like it. It's the whole show is good. You know, I don't think there's going to be any bad episodes. So you know, yeah, it was really good. The whole show was really good. It's really hot, top notch, high quality television. definitely makes you wanna watch more of it when it comes on, and you look forward to the next episode when you watch it. So it's definitely high quality, and they really did a bang up job with episode 3. It's really a really great episode, I think.
Yeah. No, I agreed. I think this is my favorite one. I like the background we got with the Mother Superior, Val, filing, because we needed more background about her and the whole what's this house? The Harkonnen, which are the main antagonists from
The Harkonnens.
The Harkonnens, thank you. The Harkonnens from the first 2 films. So let's get into the scene by scene here as usual, folks. So we start with as we left off from the previous episode. So after being casually dismissed from the court by Desmond Hart, now he's going to take over Val's position in the House of Corn. And so after this, we see Val and sister, hopefully I found this right, Theriso, leave the Imperial Plaza with a mix of anger and frustration. And so the next day, they meet with the other sisters in the harbor, and Val instructs them to go back to their assigned noble houses and do anything not to lose their hold over those houses, like the House of Corrin itself. So, but during this meeting, Sister Michaela appears with news from the other sister that the sister Leah, who went with the agony, didn't survive the water of life thing from the movies, and so but was able to reach the Mother Superior, the previous Mother Superior Raquel, about the mystery about the key of reckoning. And it said, is one born twice, once in blood, once in spice. And so Val immediately understands that Raquel is talking about Hart, the soldier with the powers, and says that the trip home is called for. And that's where we kind of stop there. So let me stop there. Let me start with you, Jeff. What you thought about this beginning, picking up where we left off in episode 2? And what you thought about this sequence with the mother sister and all that?
It's a really solid opening. The actress that portrays the young version of Valia is really strong throughout the whole episode, and she's really good right from jump. I really liked her. It's unfortunate we're only going to see her, I guess, probably in the one episode. Because I think the flashbacks that we saw in this episode, I think are going to be limited to this episode, but we'll see. Because there hasn't been a consistent pattern of flashbacks during the show. So yeah, the opening is really great. It establishes her family and all that, and her father is the guy from Game of Thrones that played the king. It introduces the brother, who's an important part of the episode, right? The brother gets murdered by the Atreides, right? Which is like the whole premise of the episode, is like the revenge basically for his death. So it's a good opening. I like the actress that plays Tula as well. She's good too. They both do a really good job in the episode playing their retrospective characters, I like how they flip back and forth between the flashbacks to present day, right from jump, and then they do it all through the episode. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. So for it was a well-paced episode. I was very surprised how fast, but it did enough to give us important information about the motivation of these characters. Particularly the Mother Superior Val, and why she's so beholden with the prophecy and all that. but yeah, so let me, Raph, my young friend here, tell me, what's your opinion on the beginning, picking up with episode 2, sir?
I mean, Jeff said many great things. I agree with everything he said. And to add on top of that, when we talk about how this show balances between the present day of the story compared to the previous timelines, it reminds me of Westworld, which is another big HBO show that basically their entire premise is built around this type of storytelling. What I like about this specifically is they make it so seamless to where you actually know what's going on. You're not like confused. You're not having to like rewind back and all these other things that cause people to like stop watching Westworld after like the middle of season 1. So it looks like HBO learned their lessons and have applied it well here.
Good. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a good point about Westworld. Yeah, it's always tricky to balance like back and forth, with the flashbacks and the the present day. I agree with both of you guys about the great balance this episode that was going back and forth, but in a good way. This and the penguin. I don't know if you've seen the penguin, Raph, but episode 4 they kind of did this where they had like a flashback centric episode, and this was another one that's really great how to like just give us a great flashback and tell a story that connects to the present day storylines that we're watching, and I think that really works. Cyber, my friend, welcome back. Tell me about your opinion about the beginning of the episode. Picking up episode 2, and tell me what you thought about the flashback and how they were incorporated in this episode.
So solid beginning to this episode. I mean, it gets right off the bat, right from where the last episode ended. We have, of course, Mother Superior and her other sisterhood sister that she brought with her from the last episode, coming back. And this was my only complaint about the episode. I thought they didn't do a good job with introducing that it was going to be flashbacks. Now, it did say that, we went to another planet, and that we went to where all the, this clan is. I get that. But they did not really set it up, I thought, precisely well with showing that, oh, we're going back 20 years. It didn't really say that. It just said where they were going. And it, it kind of, unless you're really paying attention, I felt you knew that was a younger version of Emily Watson's character. Because it wasn't until probably the end of the episode of us, I'm like, oh shit, this is young Emily Watson. I was like, wow, I was totally thrown off. But anyways, yeah, I think a very solid beginning to the episode. The going to the flashbacks was a great idea, giving us more history of who Emily Watson's character is, kind of where she came from, how kind of her thought process started, the death of her brother, which, right off the bat is, horrible. But at the same time, you could see where and why it pushed her to the level she became such a sinister, person. And so I think that whole correlation just shows you how definitely something is not right with this girl. She wasn't right from the get-go. And so this pushing her to even the more balance, as we saw that little beginning there, which I love that they brought in Mark Addy to play her father. That was fantastic. I love Mark Addy. I think he's fantastic. He's always fun to watch. I mean, he was in Game of Thrones. He played Fred Flintstone and Flintstone's People Rock Vegas. He was also in The Full Monty. And so I think that, him playing that character is a great idea. And when I saw his name in the pop up, I was like, Mark Addy's in this? I'm like, no way. So I was like super excited to see what character he played. But I think it's a really solid start. And it gets us right into kind of getting that back information we don't really know about her. Because if you saw in the previous 2 episodes, we got a little bit of a backstory, about, Emily Watson's character a little bit, showing her in her younger years and what she did to get to at the position she's at. So we did get that, but we really didn't go into real detail on what led her to be in there at that point. So it was really great to see kind of how it starts off with that great kind of story arc, giving us an idea of who she is. And the beginning of this episode does that very well.
No, I agree, Saber, about that. Yeah, this episode was very crucial to understand, the mother Val and her motivations. I say before, I was very excited to see the actor that who was from the first season of Game of Thrones. Of course, he was Joffrey's father or whatever. I'm not a big Game of Thrones fan, but yeah, he's great in Full Monty. He's so funny in that movie. And he's also, I think he's also in that Michael Keaton movie. Was it Jack Frost? Very underrated family Christmas movie. And of course, he's great as the Flintstone, as Fred Flintstone in the Viva La Vegas, as you said before, Cyber, which is crazy. You remember that movie? That's great casting there. Anyway, so let's get back to the swinging things. So we were picking up where Val gets the news about the clue about the key or the reckoning, as I say before, and and once once Val center herself by chanting the sister above all, they are greeted by Baron was it Harkonnen, and this is towards the end of the episode, because the reason I'm bringing it up because we're gonna explore more of the past here, and we see her family towards the end of the episode. So let me skip that. Sorry about that. Just going through my episode here, but we cut back here. As I say before, I do agree with Cyber here about the flashback. It was all of a sudden we kind of cut to the flashback here, and I'm fine with doing that, but you need to tell me you're doing the flashback. You have to tell me we're jumping back in time. Say that we're 1,000 years before, Polar Trees, as the first episode did, But whatever, we're back here and we see the young, Val, I say returning home from buying kind of sort of meat in the planet Lakeford, where's the home world of the House of the Harkonnen, as we see fully in I think Dune Part 2. And there we meet her whole family here. And she complains about her parents, Corsona, her mother played by Polly Walker, and then of course, as Cyber brought up, Berg played by David Bart Jones, of course, who played Fred Flintstone. He was from the Full Monty. He plays the father, and where here we see that she has a very strained relationship with the parents, but then after that we see that she has some support from her siblings. Of course, Griffin, the brother, does support her, and then we got the young Tola. That's the Olivia Williams character. By the way, I want to point this out. Let me stop here for this moment. I didn't put together. I thought. You guys can add this. I know you guys were confused about this, maybe up to this point. I didn't know that this was the sister that we were seeing in the Sisterhood, that's played by Olivia Williams. I thought they were just friends. I didn't know they were sisters. I kind of missed that in the first episodes. That was the big shock here for me. I was like, oh, they're sisters, because I didn't put together. So that was the big thing I took from this episode. Not only they did a good job of expanding Val's background, also expanding the sisters' background, how they support each other, but they are very different on their goals. As we see how Williams totally does her thing, and then so what happened with Lydia. But so that was a big shock. So, and then how you say it, the uncle here mentions that Varian Atreides is mysteriously back, and Val sees this opportunity to get him to take back the lies he told about the House of Harkonnen. So we're kind of seeing, right now the Harkonnen house is not very high as we've seen with in the films, as they're very powerful and respected. Here you're seeing they're almost like the flip flop of the Targaryens were in the Game of Thrones. Like, is the inverse that. So like we see the Dune movies, they're like very powerful, and then you look at here, they're not yet as powerful as they were in the Dune films. So she wants the lights to stop, and so they regain their status as the house. And she says that she brought up how the grandfather of Harkonnen was a hero who prevented genocide and not a coward. And that, she tells about how the adults tell her to stop being greedy. Her parents tell her to stop being greedy, and Val storms off, and with Griffin follow her. And this is what's very interesting, that we've seen like she is developing her abilities, as we see previously, with the sisterhood, like her character, that she has the ability to have control people. And apparently they were missing at the time when Griffin fell into the lake of the icy water. Val rushed to rescue him, and it seems like he says that he already given up, but he screamed for him to swim, and his body instinctively acted on his own and swam, thus saving from his death. So let me stop there. That's a lot. So let me start with you, Raph. What's your opinion on this section of meeting the young version of Val and Tola's family? What you thought about their interaction, and then the stopping point is her talking to her brother Griffin about the rescue and her developing her powers, and that's how she saved him. Go ahead.
So I guess just to start off with, when we enter this flashback, so for most of the series, we see all this like advanced technology, right? Like everything just seems like an advanced civilization. But these flashbacks, I was just surprised. I'm like, dude, where am I? Am I in like the 1700s or something? Like everything is just so, old school, basically. I don't think I even saw electricity there. So it was like really shocking. Like sometimes I even wonder, like, wait a minute, how far away are we again from like the present timeline? How far away are we compared to the time when Paul Atreides was born? All that stuff. I guess it threw me off a bit, just like the lack of technology. It just threw me off with the timeline perspective. But I know that she was young, but it gave me the perspective that as if she lived for like thousands of years. Now, I don't know much about how long people live in this Dune, world, this Dune universe, but it just threw me off. But I understand the purpose. It was pretty cool, nevertheless. Regarding the brother's death, one of the things that I've never seen in other sci-fi films that I saw here was when someone dies, you usually put them in a coffin, but this one's like a cube of ice. It was very interesting. Very interesting. I might have missed the part, Andreas, but did they just cut up the ice where he drowned, or like how come he's in a block of ice again?
Yeah, I don't think they showed the full. No, they didn't show the full flashback of him drowning and her using her abilities. They did just kind of like explain it in dialogue. That's it. And so that's like really our tell of that background.
Yeah, but he died, but the other guys survived.
I'm sorry. We're not there yet with his death. I'm talking more of like his drowning. My bad. I should rephrase that. I'm sorry, Con.
Okay. That's okay. I already said my part. It's like as if we're in 1700s or 1600s. Okay, the whole technology thing threw me off with the timeline. Done. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, they have technology. It's just like they're not as advanced as there are in the Doom movies. Anyway, Cyber, your thoughts on meeting the family, up to the brother talking to the sister about his almost drowning, but her rescuing him. Go ahead.
So this part just kind of gives you more insight into her and kind of her thought process. She's got a real hatred for the Atreides, as you see in this sequence, and how she talks to her family just shows you that she definitely is not coming with a full deck. And they even kind of mentioned that, you know, like there's evil in this girl. There's something wrong with this girl. And so, you know, right off the bat, it kind of gives you a clue into why it would lead her to where she ends up with the sisterhood. And I just think she's just so evil and so rude. And just this scene just makes me hate her more, because she just like is so evil to her parents. And like, you know, they're trying their best to deal with what they are given, you know, from whatever atrocities happen between, you know, them and the Atreides. And, you know, they're trying to think of a peaceful way of doing this. And yet she wants revenge. And how she's got this idea of revenge in her head, we still don't really know, because her family's not saying revenge. I mean, her brother and her sister kind of egg her on about it, you know, help, you know, pushing and enticing that feeling, as we see in this scene, especially with the brother. And, you know, it just kind of like, it's the start of her dark path, walking her down that line. And we get to see that here in the sequence, and kind of see how she is with her family, and kind of where she is at with her family, and giving you that kind of background, which I thought was very interesting. And the conversation with the brother, I was like so pissed at the brother, going, what the fuck are you thinking, brother? Like, you're totally giving into this delusion of your sister. You know, I know you care for your sister and you love her. And that was another thing. Like, there was a little bit of a weird kind of love feeling there. Like, it was almost like incestuous, I felt, you know, and I don't know if that was where the writing was going, but it kind of got to that. I was kind of thinking that at first, until I really understood that, oh, he's her brother. So that was kind of odd, but at the same time, it's kind of like, why are you egging her on? Why are you doing that? And you're just making the situation worse for yourself, hence what ends up happening to him. So, you know, this scene is very interesting in itself, and giving us more information about Emily Watson's character, her past, which helps push the story along. I think it's done really well. And overall, I think it's a really great, you know, flashback that gives us a lot of information we needed to kind of push us towards, you know, wherever we're going with these only 6 episodes. So really good part. Thought the level of the production value was amazing. Just like everyone said, this is like movie quality level. And they did that, you know, with this episode, with the first 2 episodes, they did the same thing. So I'm really impressed with the level that they put into this, showing that, yes, we can make good stuff still. So I was really impressed with that. I have to mention, I thought it was interesting. They had the whole blubber thing going on in this section, where just like back, like, you know, Jasmine was saying, is this like the 1700s? You know, whale killing back in the 17 and 1800s was very common to use their blubber for things. So I thought that was kind of interesting. They had that kind of intertwined into this Dune universe, and I thought that was really cool and key too.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it was very interesting to see, like, you know, because we saw the Harkonnen's world like twice in the Dune films. Well, the part 1 we just see just like a chamber. Part 2 we see more of its world. Very dark, like very gothic kind of German expression. Here you're like seeing it's more primal, like stages of, you know, not yet being technically, you know, advanced like some of the houses. So I think it's a good contrast, you know, compared to, you know, then and now. So Jeff, tell me about your opinion on this, you know, flashback mini with the family, and up to the stopping point is the brother talking to the sister of, you know, thanking her for saving him from, you know, the drowning and all that.
Well, I already talked about the family already, and recognized them, and said that, you know, I thought they were interesting and all that. The voice is an audio neuro control mechanism that enabled the manipulation of speech to achieve complete control over a receiver. It was perfected by the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood through the combined training of several advanced techniques. Use of the voice allowed the Bene Gesserit adapt to gain control over uninitiated victims merely by altering the tonal qualities of the voice. Simple instructions or orders were then spoken in voice and obeyed dutifully. Voice was most often used to compel a typically unwilling person to do something undesirable or to glean the truth from an unwilling recipient. And it says resistance of voice. With sufficient natural ability and training, one could become more resistant to the effects of the voice, as was most famously seen with Paul Atreides, who taught this to Duncan Idaho, who eventually became immune to the voice. Other methods of resistance came through technology, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, the voice is cool. I really dig that. I've never heard of the voice saving somebody's life before, so that's really interesting that you know she was able to do that. Like she saved his life that way. That's really neat. It's really his dedication, his dedication to his family and to his sister is like emphatic, you know, so it's kind of sad when he dies, of course, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, what are you going to do, right? They never really explained what exactly happened to him, you know what I mean? Which is unfortunate. I wish they would have done that. But that's it.
Yeah, and let me start from there with the brother's death. I think they leave that it seems like the Atreides kind of kill him or something like that. Leave it kind of very ambiguously what happened to him, because it does push forward Val's like hatred on the Atreides, and I actually kind of appreciate now, like it made a lot of sense why the Sisterhood kind of portrayed the Atreides in the Dune movies. Now it makes a lot more sense why they did it. Besides Paul and all that. If you've seen the first part, so I really appreciate this aspect where we're learning more about why the Harkonnens agreed to take down the Atreides and all that. So I feel like that's really good. Expanding the lore very well. And speaking of that, after the brother sadly passes away, is murder, and you see right now the family is kind of drifting apart. Tully is going somewhere to meet this like other house. I forgot what the house name is. I think it's the Atreides. I think the other Atreides or something like that. But more importantly, Val goes to the Sisterhood. So this portion is very important. So you see Val joining to the Sisterhood, and you see right away she's like very exceptional. You see, this is very crucial here. Like you see a little bit of her feud with Sister, what is it called? Joetry, begins when she questions how to use the truth and lies. When like serving the noble houses. So like she questions that, and Joetry says that the sisters is responsible to pull them in humanity's better nature. But Val sees the truth as a tool that should be used to serve a purpose. The sister like taunts Val in front of her class, and like in the next scene, she let me not get into that, but like you see right away that from episode 1, like you kind of saw like that feud a little bit with the sister, but before before Val uses her scream to kill her, before she destroys the DNA matrix, right? And we see again, just like in the I think episode 2 or 1, we see the sisters like doing their training outside in the rain, and Val is like the last person there, and then she meets up with the Mother Superior, and like she asks her to join her, to talk, and she really sees promising things with Val as a Mother Superior, and I think after this she the Mother Superior shows Val all the sister's secrets, tells her to the tunnel see her life's great work. This is where she gets introduced to the genetic matrix containing the DNAs of all the great houses. So right away, and to build this index. And so Raquel had to rely on computers, something strictly forbidden. So you see right away, like the technology is strictly forbidden, as we see before, like the machine wars, as already happened. And Val is compelled to like keep all this secret for her. Well, meanwhile, the other sister, Troy or something like that. I cannot say this. The sister that gets her throat got cut in episode 1, like is very much against like this Matrix thing and all that, as we see with episode 1. And then just trying to see, she has a meeting with her. I say the Mother Superior asks Val and Dorothy to come and have a meeting where she talks about how they both have very strong, presence in the house, and like they have potential to be great leaders to take over the Mother Superior to lead them, and and then after that, you see Val tells her friends that she knows that Raquel will choose her as successor and shows them the voice. So let me stop there. Let me start with Cyber. Cyber, what you thought about seeing Val going into the sisterhood, meeting Mother Superior and her showing her all the secrets and projects that she's working on, like the whole DNA thing that we saw in the first episode, up to her, Val telling her friends about the secret, and she thinks that she's going to be the successor. Go ahead.
So this whole section, kind of gives you a little bit more insight into kind of the building and the building blocks of the sisterhood. If you think about it, kind of where it's at, kind of where it's currently at before Emily Watson's character takes over. And so it kind of gives you an idea of what's going to lead to her succeeding and what's going to lead to a change in the sisterhood. Because at this point, if you look at the sisterhood throughout this section, it's kind of way more different than it is in current times. So I think that was kind of an interesting little tidbit there that they brought for us into this flashback sequence. Now, basically, I feel like this section is kind of the slower part of the episode. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not, I don't feel like it's filler, but I feel like it definitely was the slower portion to kind of pump the brakes, as you would say, to kind of give you a little bit of a break from what you just saw and what you just learned and all that kind of good stuff. And, having to deal with, all of, kind of all that information about, Emily Watson's character. So I think that they did a good job there, giving us a little more information of, how that played out, how that was playing into her succeeding and her becoming the new successor, and how it kind of enlightened you into kind of more of the psyche breakdown of her, and kind of how her powers were slowly coming to fruition. And before, I forgot to kind of mention about her talking about her powers with the brother, but it's kind of interesting that, before she became a part of the sisterhood, she was already having these powers come to be. And so I think that kind of shows that the Harkonnens are definitely a different type of people. They're not your normal people that are on other worlds and stuff like that in the Dunes, saga. And so I think that kind of is kind of also glimpsed into trying to tell you, hey, by the way, the Harkonnens in the future are going to be very different than the rest of the people. Hence, Mr. Jassim here talking about how the Harkonnen people don't look like normal people in this versus looking how they look in the movies. And so I think that plays kind of into it, that, the Harkonnens being that, kind of being the normal people at first here, being kind of the, we'll say middle class people at this time versus the higher class or even, the really poor. They basically, I feel that Mother Superior, Emily Watson's character, is the one that catalyst that started pushing towards them becoming how they become in the future verses. So I think this is what they're kind of trying to show us too here in this section here with, with Emily Watson's character, is kind of how she was kind of the predecessor of starting to lead them down the road to where they became what we are aware of later in the Dune saga. So I think that this is all very crucial, this information that we got in this section. And I think it's very entertaining, very well done. Once again, great looking. The theater quality movie here was fantastically done. Kudos to Warner Brothers here. I mean, Warner Brothers is usually very good at putting out really good HBO TV shows, stuff like that. And so, once again, they have returned to that great catalyst that they were so good at. And so far in this episode, and up to your ending point, sir, I think it was done really well.
Yeah, Jeff, your opinion on seeing the Val being introduced to the sisterhood and meeting up with Mother Superior and like learning about the secrets about the DNA matrix, and of course, up to getting the word that she thinks that she's going to be the polydig successor of Mother Superior if she dies. Go ahead.
Yeah, all those scenes were really solid. I enjoyed the stuff with the Mother Superior. All the scenes with her were really solid. Valia's whole deal where she like waited like in the rain to like actually join the sisterhood fully or whatever was cool. I dug that. Her little like friends or whatever hung in there too with her. Like to the last minute, but then they gave in too. So I really enjoyed their relationship, their dynamic, Valia and Mother Superior. It was cool that Mother Superior was showing her the secrets. I wish they would have showed the DNA deal, I wish they would have shown that. But I found it all very interesting. The jumps back and forth to the real Dune Prophecy world, like outside of the flashbacks, are really solid too. I enjoy those scenes as well. They're pretty solid. The stuff with Tula and how they still have that girl alive, after the Spice Agony was really interesting. I know we already got past that in the episode, but I really dug that part. And the part where they were cutting up those whales was cool too. I always love seeing old school stuff like whale massacres and shit like that, But the stuff with the early sisterhood and all that, like what the sisterhood was like, back when Valia first started was interesting. And I'll leave it there.
Cool. Ref, your opinion on seeing Sister Val be introduced to the sisterhood, meeting up with Mother Superior, learning about the secrets and the projects that she was doing, like the A matrix and all that, and up to her telling her friends about her being the successor, all that. Okay.
What I liked about that scene with like all the rain and stuff, seeing everyone just like leave slowly, and then she's like the only one left. I remember just watching that scene. I'm like, okay, is she gonna like just like basically get kicked out? Because like all those two people waiting for everyone to finish, they're like, okay, you're not dedicated to the sisterhood. Goodbye, right? And then Mother Superior comes in, and then I'm just like, what is going on? You put that plot twist, HBO. Like, I mean, just that writing sequence, I have to critique it because it's like, I think I would have preferred if she actually said in the end, like, I am with the sisterhood, and just like leave with those two other instructors. But it's just, I mean, you get where I'm coming from, Andreas, right? Where it's like, it's just weird. Like, she looks like someone who is not even destined to be in the sisterhood, but somehow it's like the Mother Superior just comes in randomly and just be like, okay, you're my pupil. You will be my next hire. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess in a way, the way how they wrote that, I can see how they're like, this is the one. This is the future of the sisterhood. That writing needs improvement, though. I will say that, but I mean, it got me thinking that she would never come back to the sisterhood.
Wow, that was it. Wow,
Bro, I don't know, man. I'm just like talking as I'm like trying to craft this thought that I had for a while.
yeah, for a while. Yeah, it's at least a lot of like. I mean, by the way, this episode they just jam packed everything. Like, I mean, it was, I mean, we haven't gotten to the part with the sister, which we are going to get into. Yes, Jeff.
Andres, I just want to say really quick. Wrath mentioned about how it looks like they don't have electricity and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like they don't have electricity. You know, like seriously, like I think they do. I think they do. You know, like I think they do. You know, but like it looks like they don't almost. You know, like they don't have phones. You know what I'm saying? They don't have TV. You know, like they don't have nothing. You know, like seriously, like I mean. I get the whole thing with like the thinking machines and all that shit, but not having any technology is fucked up, man. It's like they're living in the dark ages.
Hey, I mean, apparently they're scared of machines. I was seeing with episode 1, so
but they have space travel and shit.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I'll probably say that towards the end, but like I guess I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that's weird that they're telling us that they had this machine wars, almost like the Matrix, right? Like those, like the machines versus humans, right? In the Matrix, right? It's not, it's not similar, but like it's different. But then all of a sudden, like they're against the machines, but like they're using technology, like as Jeff said before, ships. Like, what's the difference? I don't like. Do you guys have any ideas where we're going?
One of them is ChatGPT. The other one is just a simple sewing machine.
They had a whole war. They had like a multi-year war, like against the machines, like the humans versus the machines. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Terminator.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Terminator. Yeah, it could be like that. Yeah. 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 I don't know.
But they had like space battles and shit like that during it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like a space race. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Well, and that's another thing. Like how human they are, because Raph, you brought up a good point about the Harkonnen people. Like they're not like what they are in the Doom movies, right? Like they're not bold, like
they're not even pale enough. They're not even fat enough.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, no fat shaming in this show, all right?
Hey, they're way worse than you. Okay, relax.
They're beautiful creatures, okay? They went for harsh ships, okay? They didn't have TV, as Jeff said before. No electricity. No.
Hey, where's the Black Sun too? Where is that?
Maybe they created the Black Sun and like some timeline. Anyway, let's get back to that. I don't know. Like it's weird. Like I like the idea of like hating against machines, but here's the thing: if you're gonna do that, should the whole empire of these houses don't use technology? But whatever, we'll see. So we go to the next scene. With the Mother Superior calling for Val and the other sister to go through the agony together. As anyone knows, that's the agony we saw the water life thing from episode 2, and Paul's mom went through in Dune Part 2. Because we saw in the meeting previously that she thinks that they're both the strongest sisters, and they could be both the future leaders of the Order, right? And we learned this in the previous episode in Two Wolves, that we learned that Raquel was actually Raquel, the Mother Superior, was the sister's grandmother, as we knew in episode 1. So they share a forbidden family chai, which is interesting. But before the Mother Superior was going to drop the poison on Val's eye, Val stands up and apologizes. They say she cannot go through it, and then here, this is where I will get into the reason why she cannot go through is because Telly, her sister, the younger sister that who is the older sister that's played by Olivia Williams, great actress, actually committed a a successful but brutal mission. So she was off to after the Griffin's funeral. She, I say, walking by her boy. I say, was in some forest world. She was with this boyfriend called I don't know, Ois or
Atreides.
Atreides. Yeah, okay, one of the Atreides, right? Whatever. They're having this family, campaigning on the forest world, right? They're preparing to hunt like this bull, and like they know her as totally Val. So like they don't know that she is a Harkonnen. So like she's like undercover, like Mission Possible, James Bond, but in Dune, basically, right? So she becomes like a hero, she helps like save one of the bulls with like some ingredient she did. And then after that, she when the horse falls wounded, she tries to save it, but the uncle tells her to, she must put it down, but we do what we must. But she helps them sacrifice it painlessly. And then the next night, she is with her boy, her boo. I have to say, right, because we get a great steamy sex scene. She like this guy claims, "I love you, I want to marry you," and so she is tempted by this offer, and so basically she's like, okay, I will do that, and so she has sex with him. We had a good steamy sex, not the best we had so far. I mean, I don't know what's the best sex scene we have for this Dune Prophecy, maybe episode 1, I don't know. So we had this steamy sex scene, and after that, they have this like very Hallmark drama sequence. It's like she confessed that she's not Val, but she's like a Harkonnen, and he's like surprised, but he urges that the families will choose to hate each other over something that happened more than a century ago, and that together we can write the future for themselves. But she rejects him, saying that it will still be Atreides who killed her brother. So I guess this scene kind of confirms that the Atreides killed her brothers. So, and then it's very quiet. Like, this is where I really like this part here, this episode. I think this was really suspense and really dark here. This boy comes out of the cabin, whatever, and sees his whole family, I don't know, house, whatever you want to call it, everyone's dead. They're drop dead. They're dead. Dead. And he's like, oh my God, what's going on? And then, the sister comes up doing, freaking Assassin Creed / I don't know, like James Bond, whatever. He stabs, injects her with I think a poison. And it's like, he's going down and bam, he's dead. So revenge happened. And she sends the letter to her sister that she completed the mission. And then let me stop here because there's a lot. So let me go with you, Raph. Raph, what you thought about Sister Val not going through the agony, the poison that's gonna drop her eye, but then because she see rumor that her sister completed the mission and talked about the stopping point is really that section of like the sister completing her mission and her killing the half like this Atreides house. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna focus on the forest scene with the Atreides. I will say that just watching that whole sequence, I mean, wait, what's that girl's name again? Talia?
Tully? I don't know. It's
Talia.
Talia? Yeah, Talia. Yeah.
Oh, Tula.
Talia.
Tula.
Ula.
Tula. What?
Ula.
Tula. What? What does that say?
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
I mean, just watching the whole scene, I like how when the writers were showing it, like you can just feel as if Tula's like not a Harkonnen, doesn't have any like ulterior motives. Like as if she's genuine. Like you can just feel that. Like for me, I was watching that whole scene during my lunch break at work, and then I'm just like, okay, this is cool. I don't know how it relates to the story, but you know, she seems like a nice person. And I like how she taught that one boy about like when you killed a squirrel or something, there's like that toxic thing, so you have to like cut it out. I love how they integrate that in like that next scene where it's like you have a horse that's dead, you could shoot it, or you can just inject it with the poison, which she injected it and stuff. Now, one of the things with this scene I have to critique is the whole thing about silence, because I know they had that steamy sex scene in the night when everyone else outside was like, "Oh," right? But then it's like in the morning, you expect people go to sleep, right? Because they're partying all night, and not like they're all dead. Because, you know, for me, like when I saw that, I'm just like, it's quiet, yeah, because it's early morning, they partied all night, like they gotta get their sleep. But man, just seeing how she killed everyone, I don't think they show in this episode how she killed everyone. I think she just put the poison in the water. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how she killed it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with the horse. Like, I think the horse scene where she put her down, that indicate that she poisoned everyone with that.
Yeah, but that horse scene though, it's like you just think she's a good person, right? You don't think that at some point she's gonna like stab. And that's a great assassin. That's what great assassins do. They like you just never expect when they're gonna kill you. But the thing also is after she kills that guy, you just have one other guy, that boy that she showed how to poison, I think, that one. Like he just like got to run off, and it's like, you want witnesses? Like that's the part I just don't understand about this. Like, why do you want a witness? Like, I thought you're not supposed to have any witnesses in the end. But I mean, looking at other cultures, it's like they want a witness just so they could scare the, you know, other tribe. But always the other tribe's like, let's go to war. So that probably explains why we have all these Dune movies today. And I will stop there and let everyone else fill the other spots.
Okay. Saber, your thoughts on, the Sister Vel not taking the agony, the poison drop, and the whole sister's mission of killing half the Atreides house? Go ahead.
So this section here really kind of helps you understand kind of where the sisters are at and kind of what their thought process are like. And we've discovered that Tallulah definitely is nowhere as unhinged as Mother Superior is. So, in this section here where, she decides she doesn't want to take the spice drops, basically we're happy for her because that was a good idea not to take that stuff, because as we saw in the last episode, it doesn't work out for everyone. And at the same time too, though, like you can see that she is not as unhinged by doing that too as well, that she's not as mad at the Atreides as her sister is. And so we kind of get more and more in depth into how it's such a life mission for, Mother Superior to kill all the Atreides and half the Atreides. And so the fact that Tallulah eventually does go along to help her sister shows she definitely is like, following because she has nothing else. Because as she says in this kind of in that sequence there, she says, I wasn't seen by my family. And then until I did this, I wasn't seen by you, sister. And so we kind of see that, it's kind of one of those things where you're guilty by association type of deal. It's kind of that by, leading by proclamation basically here for Tallulah. And so she does it because she feels it's the only way for her to be seen, to feel like she's a part of something and stuff like that, because she feels like she has no other option. And so that's unfortunately kind of the evilness that resides within Mother Superior, basically. That's how it seeps out. It seeps into people and gets them thinking wrong. And so from right there off, that is the total sign of the Harkonnens. The Harkonnens, as we've seen in later films, you know, that's what they ooze. They ooze that. They ooze evil. So this is a really great sign of showing kind of how evil the Harkonnens are. And we can kind of see that throughout this section too as well. It gives us that example and kind of gives us more about that. Now, when it comes to her shagging that dude and then killing him, I was like, what the fuck? That is so evil. That is just so evil. I'm like, you're going to give up the goods and then you're going to kill him with you know, with that plant or whatever, that sack that she used to pull whatever essence out of it that kills the people humanely, supposedly. And I'm just like, I was like, whoa, like I was like not expecting Tallulah to go to that level. And even at this point, I still did not realize that Tallulah and Madame Superior were sisters still at this point. I kind of thought that, but I wasn't 100% sure. So, till towards the end of the episode, but still, like, after she kills them and she's like saying, I'm sorry, I'm killing you. I was like, if you're sorry, you wouldn't have killed them. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? These Harkonnens are just pure evil. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, this is a good example of showing you kind of, the beginning of this evil empire. And it is so entertaining and so interesting because unless you've read the books of Dune at all, from Frank Herbert, you really don't know much about it. If you've just seen the movies, you kind of have a thought process of what it's about. But at the same time, you don't know really all the ins and outs. And I love that Dune Prophecy is taking that to a whole new level by giving us all this extra information and doing it fucking amazingly. That it blows my mind at how good this has been in just 3 episodes versus all the Acolyte.
I was about to mention the Acolyte.
And put those two together, you can't even fathom these 3 episodes. So, I mean, HBO, like I said, Warner Brothers is on a hot streak. Between The Penguin and this, they have put out 2 of the best fucking TV shows this year. And even just 3 episodes in with this one, it has been phenomenal. So, another great section, gives you lots of great information. And I love that it makes it where it doesn't seem like the time is like the editing and all that kind of stuff does not seem to lag. It actually is entertaining every step of the way, and I love that. So another great section that I feel gives lots of great information that helps proceed the story along.
Thank you, Saber. Yeah, I agreed. This episode, like as I agreed before, I didn't know that these were sisters and that Olivia Williams' character. Sorry, oh my god, hiccup. Was sister, and I thought this was a very good episode to explain their bond and like how different they are as sisters. Like you could tell it's interesting. You see the one sister that's very much the Harkonnen, and then you got this other one that's somewhat Harkonnen, but not really. Like she did it, to revenge her brother, but she didn't like to kill him. She was conflicted about the boy. Like she had feelings for this boy. I mean, the guy say like, "Oh, I want to marry you," and like she was like, "Oh my god." So I was surprised she pulled it through, killing those people and that guy. So, yeah, I agree with you. I just want to just bring up the comment here, but like Raph, good point. Like, I'm very impressed how good these actors were portraying the older actors, because you could tell they're like those characters, and I think that's been really great. And the casting here has been awesome throughout the series. Jeff, any opinion on this section? With the sister Val not going through the agony, and then the whole sister mission of killing the Atreides family and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, the whole deal with Valia rejecting the agony was really interesting, because it was really cool how the Mother Superior actually allowed her to leave, and trusted her to do the agony on her own and come back, right? That was deep, I thought. Yeah, the sex scene between the dude and Tula was really pathetic. I was really let down by HBO with that. Like usually they bring it a lot more like legit than that. That was really soft core, man. Like I wanted to see some titties, So I was a little bit let down with that sex scene, and I wish they would have showed how he killed those people. Like, how did she get the poison into their drinks or whatever? But either way, it was cool. It was interesting how she killed all of them. She definitely got the revenge. And all them dudes dancing around, drunk and shit and whatnot was crazy. While they were fucking, that shit was crazy. So, yeah, that's it.
Yo, Jeff, at least he did not die a virgin.
That's right.
That's true. Good one, Raph. Very funny, sir. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was kind of shocked that the sex scene was not even sexy. Like, come on, we want tits. Come on, tits. All right, that's what we're here for. All right, as Jeff said before. I mean, we got a little bit of that in episode 1, I guess. I don't know. Anyway,
Episode 2, sir. Episode 2 was titties galore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that blonde chick was so hot. I still remember her. I was like, oh my god, awesome. Anyway, I'm sorry, that's too deep. Anyway, so what the hell am I at here? He rejects the boy, kills the boy, yada. Oh, okay. So on back to, I guess, the Harkonnen, home planet. Val and Tula reunite each other in this home planet at Griffin's tomb. They meet up in Griffin's tomb, the brother's tomb. And Val tells Tula she didn't think Tula could kill the Atreides like that. So she was like surprised she did it, and claimed that Griffin could be proud that Tula could be proud of what she did. But Tula isn't sure, and back home, the parents blame Val for the massacre, and saying that she didn't think about the consequences of the family will face now, if they know about this, right? Angry, Val, uses the voice on her mom, and this was really cool. Like the fact that she tells her mom to like pick up the blade, almost tells her to kill herself before she could do anything with more tragic, consequences. But she didn't do that. Instead, Val storms off, and their dad calls her sorceress, And at this spot where she say goodbye to, her brother, Griffin, and this is where at the beginning of the episode here, Val, finally, here Val takes the agony. She puts the poison in the eye, and then she survived. Shockingly, she survived from the agony, and after that, her sister, joins her, and she's very happy she survives, and she's going to join the sister with Val, and promises a fresh start for both of them with a new purpose. So, yeah, let me stop here. Let me say, there's make it. What's this? I think two guys are funny. Anyway, who will start? Eating mini money mo. Catch mo. Eating money. Cyber.
That's the end of the episode.
Fine. Episode. Yeah, hey, this is my show, baby. I will do what I want to do. Fine. This is my show.
Is this the other show tits on the show?
Yes. And crazy Time Lord, Woody Lovely, Timey Wimey, okay?
It's your show. It's your show, Andres.
Okay, thank you. Just let me we're almost there. I know. Hang on. Just drink more beer, alcohol, or just watch some, sex stuff in your laptops. Anyway, Cyber, tell me about this, returning to home with the sisters. seeing Val going through the poison, and then and the sister telling the other sister that I'm going to join you with the sisterhood and start a new life. Go ahead.
So basically, once again, this section is basically mirrors all the rest of the episode, giving us more idea of kind of, the thought process of, of Emily Watson's character and kind of, what leads her to doing what she, becoming the new Mother Superior. And so we see her, eventually take the drops, and that builds into her psyche, which we already have established. Her psyche is not 100% there. And so, basically she gives herself even more power by doing that, basically, which we've already established she has some ability here that she can do that. And I believe it's at this point is when she goes back home, before she takes them and demonstrates that she can make her mother pick up the knife and almost slice her throat, like she does to the former Mother Superior, or the person that's trying to become Mother Superior in the previous episodes. And so we get to see that too, and we get, that kind of shows her family. She says she's even more evil and more crazy than they thought. And I think that does a great job of kind of that entices her even more, getting that rejection for her family that even makes the psyche even go even worse and harder, and making her more go crazy and leading more towards bringing the Harkonnens to where they're at in the foreseeable future. And so I think that, every time she does something and says something that is completely the opposite of what her family's saying, I felt like as the episode went on, I just go and like, this chick is just nuts. This girl is utterly stupid. Like, what the hell is wrong with you that you want to get vengeance this badly? And yet you are basically just destroying your life, basically, by trying to get this vengeance. And it's just kind of like, wow, like, Emily Watson, you are just evil. You are just a horrible person. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, this really gives you more perspective of, the Harkonnens' history. And if you don't know much about the Harkonnens, I mean, I guess for any first-time viewer of the show or anything really Dune related, if you don't know much about it, it's like it's getting a mind fuck basically with this, and just going, wow, so this is actually kind of the foreseeing of what's going to lead to the Harkonnens we're going to see later on. And, and kind of that feud that's between the Harkonnens and the Atreides. And so I think that this section, her taking the drops, basically, telling her sister she's going to get into the sisterhood and bringing her along, is just another way of her getting higher up in the chain to exact the revenge and rid the whole world of Atreides, And as we had seen in the previous episodes, supposedly that guard guy, or that guy that killed the son in the first episode, he's supposed to be a part of the Atreides. He's supposed to be Atreides himself. So apparently when her sister killed all those guys, earlier down the road, when they were younger, apparently she didn't get all the Atreides. So
I told you, dude, she left one witness.
Something like that. So it's like, what happened? Like, what happened that allowed there to be more Atreides? Like, maybe the Atreides have a special ability too. We don't know. And I like that that's kind of given us this whole history and story here, giving us this really great, like I said, history lesson into the Dune world. And that's what's so great about this show too, is that it's given us all this great information that I think is enlightening. I think is really helpful to those that maybe haven't read the books. Maybe going back and reading the books, maybe you'll have even more open eye to the Dune universe by them giving you this information that they're giving us in this. So, them taking whatever information from the book that this is based off of, that Frank Herbert did, I think that, whatever source material they're using was a great idea and a really great way to, grow the Dune universe, so that they can make more Dune films and Dune things and stuff like that. So I think that this section does a really good job of giving us kind of where she is at the present and kind of what led to what we saw in the previous episodes of her becoming the new high priestess, or the new high person, the new mother in charge. So I think that they did a great job, gave us really great information, and overall, I think it was a decent section as well.
Thank you, Cyber. Anyway, if everyone wants to know what they're based on, I was just checking on it. Basically, they're checking on these prequel books called "The Great Schools of Doom." So, if anyone wants to check it out, this is what the material that this show is like basing on. And I think I saw that they were like, and they were basing on the 2012 prequel novel called "The Sisterhood of Doom." So check that out as well, as those are the material that they're basing on the show. Jeff, please don't go to the end. Just focus on. I know you're tired and you're hungry, but bear with me, please, sir. You're my brother. Join me in the dark side here. I'm gonna give you tits. No worry, I'm gonna give you tits.
No, I just thought I thought we were basically at the end of the episode. That's all. I don't know why you wanted to keep going with another question, but
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good section of the episode. I really enjoyed seeing Valia do the voice on her mother. That was cool. I enjoyed that part of it. I thought she was actually going to have her mother kill herself, but then obviously she didn't. And I wish they would have made, when she did the spice agony by herself. I wish they would have shown more of that. Because all that spice agony stuff is really cool. When you get into it, like Cyber said, when you get into all the Dune background information about what the spice agony actually is and all that, it's very interesting. And yeah, the Atreides are like the Harkonnens' ultimate like enemy. Like they're bitter enemies all the way up to when Paul and the Dune movies comes out. The Harkonnens and the Atreides are like hate each other. So yeah, I'll save the rest of my thoughts for the final question.
Yes, good. That's what I was saying. I was mute. Anyway, Raph, go ahead, my brother. Tell me your thoughts on this section.
I was genuinely surprised that they were actually mad at Valia and Tula for doing that massacre. I thought it's like, dude, if you do a successful massacre against a family that killed one of your own, I thought you're going to be happy by that if it's successful, but they were more concerned about the blowback, which kind of foreshadows how powerful the Atreides are. I mean, it's kind of assumed they're very powerful, but looking at how Tula just massacred all of them, I'm like, I think they're overestimating the Atreides. So I think that'll play more into play later. And I'm also curious on what happens to the family members as this series progresses, because the Harkonnens themselves are split between the two sisters and everyone else. That's all.
Wow. I thought it was going to be more inspirational, more deep. I like your answer. Straightforward, cut to the point. All right, let's do this. Thank you, Raph. All right, we're up to the end point. Everyone knows what happened at the end point. So we cut back to the present day. We see older Val with the other sister, and this part was very interesting. So, we get, how you say it, let me go back to my notes here to actually get this correct before any of you guys be angry at me. Or throw me in the river or something like that. Now I'm talking to myself right now. Anyway, so after we saw Val center herself by chanting the sister above all, we see her going to a house or like a hotel, whatever you want to call it, a palace, and she's greeted by one of her family members, Baron. This character named Baron Harkin, played by Edward Davis, who calls her Aunt Val, and then and where she asks how's Aunt Tula, you know, and at the fireplace. So this, I was kind of surprised this happened. Val's older uncle, Hartman, this is played by Mark Addy, and she never sees this day. And I just want to make sure, yeah, the Mark is the actor from Full Monty, and the actor that plays Flintstones. He survived. Apparently, he's alive, and I guess I say Val is gonna propose like a mission or something like that, and then we cut to credits. So that's really it. So we end up her going back to see her family, the Hartman, and that's the next step she's gonna do to like fix this problem she has with Hart. So let me start with Jeff. Let me start with Jeff here.
Well, no,
wait.
It ends. It cuts out when it shows Tula using thinking machines to keep the girl alive. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, you're right. I'm sorry. I should throw myself in the window now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I should have had to like really get myself pumped.
At least Jeff's not Putin.
That's true. You know what Jeff is? He is Trump of this battle. And he's not ashamed of it. Anyway, thank you, Jeff. Yes, sorry, forgot about that. The real end scene is where Tula is going under one of the secret chambers that we saw previously, episode 1 and this episode, right? And we see her, she's using the spice from the Arachnus planet, and apparently this is gonna keep Leah, the sister that got affected with the agony, alive. You guys can explain that. That was kind of interesting. So that was really the last shot. So thank you, Jeff, for calling it out. I totally forgot about that. So Jeff, go ahead. Tell me everything about your final thoughts on this end episode and that. Okay.
Yeah. I thought the end of the episode was great. I thought that obviously Valia passing the spice agony and bringing Tula back to the sisterhood and all that, you know, I thought it was really interesting seeing Tula keeping that girl alive with actual computers, with actual AI. You know, I didn't expect that, you know, like that was actually like an AI like machine that she was using, you know, like major machine. So that was very surprising, very shocking that they're using that forbidden illegal technology, you know? So I'm interested in seeing how that's going to play out in episode 5. Like if she's going to be able to bring that girl back to life, you know, or not, you know what I mean? With the spice, you know, or whatever. But that AI machine was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, I dug it. It was really cool. I like the design of it. Saber, you're next. Tell me your thoughts on this final section of the episode, the final moments.
So the conclusion of the episode, I mean, basically going back to present day, I knew from the get-go that she was not going to bury or get rid of that girl she considered like a daughter. I just knew that she was going to be keeping her a secret somewhere until she could figure out how to bring her back. And so the fact that, you know, that we get to see that at the end here just shows that. But I think pretty much how it sets it up towards this end here just shows you that, you know, Tallulah, you know, basically we could see that she's starting to realize how stupid she was and kind of, you know, trying to do her own thing now, you know, from her sister. And, you know, that there's definitely going to be probably a falling out between the two sisters, I feel. And so I think that, you know, Tallulah is going to start smartening up. That, you know, many years later, unfortunately, it took her to really realize that. So I think that this ending is really setting up kind of the future of the next 3 episodes, and kind of gonna push towards like kind of, you know, when is Mother Superior gonna find out about that, this, you know, child is still alive, and that the spice did not work with her and got her stuck inside her own head and all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. But at the halfway point, I think it's kind of interesting that they have it kind of showing that Tallulah is really starting to see that what her sister has done is not all kosher and stuff like that. So I'm liking with the direction this is going. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the sisterhood, what happens with with Mark Addy. That was interesting. That Val went and saw her or him, and he's still alive, and kind of like, this is interesting. He's still alive somehow, and yet he's like in like a futuristic wheelchair type of thing. And kind of makes me think of how the Harkonnens are in the future, majority of them being in like machines and stuff like that, being a part of machines and stuff like that. So I think that this is kind of showing you that future of what it will be in 10,000 years. So really, really well done ending. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here.
Yes. No, I agree. Yeah, very curious how the Harkonnens came to be. If it's really the spice that kind of genetically mutate them, that could be interesting, but I don't know. Raph, sir, tell me your thoughts on this last section. Go ahead, be inspirational, be deep, be yourself, Raph Khan.
Oh, I will. Yeah, so let's start off with what Cyber was saying, where the Harkonnens are basically living in the future. When I can relate that to the Dune movies, I think one of the big keys that we will learn in this series, hopefully, is how they've mastered cloning technology. Because when I see the movies, I see how the Harkonnens, they look so similar. They look exactly the same. They're bald, they're thin. Only a few are like fat, right, taking oil baths and stuff. But I think that's going to be one of the things that we're going to see from the Harkonnens from this era. You have all this technology. You have a small family. The Atreides are supposedly powerful. How are you supposed to be more powerful? You clone each other. But going back to the sisterhood, it's just weird though how she's like telling everyone, all the sisters, like, we have to say goodbye to her, and then they send her goodbye. But then she goes into the catacombs, and it's just like when I see this thinking machine, I'm just like, okay, like, is this going to backfire at some point? Because in the Dune films, we don't really think of the sisterhood as like big on technology. They're all about spirituality. They're all about wizard magic stuff, not like, dead people with their minds powering the chat GPT of the sisterhood. We shall see. But I'm predicting cloning technology is going to be the big thing that the Harkonnens will use to get to the top.
That's true. Yeah, I think I can see that as well, Raph. Pretty good theory. I like that. So thank you everyone for joining us to this awesome Dune Prophecy Episode 3 live recap on Sister Above All. Just want to thank everyone, Jeff, Cyber, and the Real Rapcon to being here and contributing awesome theories and discussion about Episode 3. Now, Jeff, you can take over. We can do the plugs for Raph, Cyber, me, and we'll get the hell out of here and get some tits. If I understand the reference. Tits. Go ahead, sir.
We don't do plugs for Wrath.
Oh, really?
Wrath doesn't have a YouTube channel.
Oh, that's true. All right. Well, I'm first, I guess. I have a YouTube channel, Andreas Pop Culture Guy, Channel Presents. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight for my narration on Episode 3. Recently, I post a scene from Batman Mask Phantasm, Batman chase scene. Really great scene. Check it out. I'm going to post tonight my Batman Karakari tribute because his birthday was on November 30th. So I'm working on now while I'm doing this, moderation. So please check it out. This Sunday, hopefully nothing has happened this Sunday. The next live stream view will be Romance the Stone, 1984 classic film. I will update that. That's starring Michael Douglas and Catherine Turner and Danny DeVito. Great movie, one of the classic 80 films, directed by Robert Zemeckis. that really got him to be a major director and helped him get Back to the Future. And I do shorts. Soon I will do more shorts. Check it out. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now, guys. Please support me, Cyber, and Jeff. They reached our highest mark. I'm up to 1.5K subscribers. Pretty cool.
Okay, Cyber.
Well, hello, people out there. Well, if you enjoyed me here on the panel, or if you enjoy me as a moderator, you can check out my solo content. You'll find me under Cyberneticshark. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, X, Patreon, pretty much anywhere you find a social media, you can find me, mates. Anyways, as you can see here, my most recent trailer reaction there for you guys is the new Mission Impossible teaser trailer. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, which comes out next May. Just dropped that today. If you have not checked it out, definitely check it out. My most recent review, of course, is of the film Here, which is Robert Zemeckis' newest film, as Mr. Andres was talking about Romancing the Stone. But yeah, definitely an interesting film. Definitely give that a whirl. And of course, my most recent short was Dear Santa, which is a new Jack Black film. If you have not seen that, highly recommend check it out. Really funny, great time for Christmas time. And yeah, definitely be having more stuff up for you guys, more reviews. I'll have my Heretic review up here soon for you guys. I'll be definitely going to see Gladiator 2 and Wicked here soon, so you'll be seeing reviews of those soon. And of course, there's a new Amy Adams film coming out called Night Bitch. So I'll be watching that eventually soon too and do a review for you guys, which looks kind of interesting. But yeah, keep on trucking, keep on watching, guys. We appreciate you, you know. And I've just crossed the 1.2 mark, so slowly getting there. Behind Andreas again, of course. I don't know how. Probably because he puts out things about as fast as 10 seconds every 10 seconds. So, but the one thing I don't get though, Andreas, is how you keep having upside down shorts. I'm still trying to figure that one out and how people keep wanting to watch that. I guess people are upside down or something. I have no idea. But anyway.
I don't know. I was thinking to change it, but for some reason it just works. People don't care about it. It's like
apparently, I guess so.
Well, one person comment and it's like upside down. That's unique, or something like that. Like I don't know. It just works. Hey, it's just me.
Dude, you filming like landscape. That's why.
No. Like here, I got my phone here. Like I do it this way because the screen is like this flat. So I try to do it, but like you can see this like section here, and I don't want people to see that. So I want them to see the full scene. And so I take it right here, and then take it right there, and then boom, boom, boom. That's what happened.
Yeah, you need to make thumbnails for them. That's what you got to do. But anyways, yeah. So anyways. Yeah, so thank you guys. As always, please keep on watching us here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We appreciate you guys. As always, you know, thank you from all of us here at the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We appreciate you. We do have a film coming up this Friday. I'm blanked on what it is, but I'm sure Jeff will know.
I got to look it up. I got to look it up. I'll get back to you guys on that. But you know, for as of right now, I will reach out to both you guys up for the movie. I'll look as soon as we're done with the show. In the meantime, God bless everybody. We are out of here. Our Dune Prophecy episode 3 review is done. Peace out. Thanks everybody that was on, and we'll see you later.